Hi, today we'll be testing the RTX 3060 in the year's best optimised game, The Last of Us Part 1. We're pairing it with an i5 10400F and 16GB of 3200MHz CL16 RAM. Feels like you're using a CPU from the dark ages with this game, but it would normally be quite a good match for the 3060. I wanted to try all settings, but the game crashed on me multiple times with 4K high and medium unless I used DLSS, so I had to leave them out. I believe this is because it was close to the max VRAM usage. Recording at the same time might have pushed it over the edge to crash though, so you might have better luck. Then again, it could just be the game, especially with this one. I heavily reduced the amount of presets shown at lower reses too, as you quickly run into a CPU limit, so there's not much FPS to be gained, if any. Anyway, let's do it. Right, so we start off with 4K high settings with DLSS quality, because I was unable to get just high settings working without it crashing. And we're getting a reasonable average of 36 here, and it did get a lock 30, so it's pretty good.
Don't look, Sarah. Just keep looking at me, baby.
You'll see the numbers on the left as from MSI Afterburner, and that's the numbers I got while recording, and on this particular graphics card I did get a little less while recording, and also a lot more stutters.
Get back! There's too many of them! This way! Through the alley! Go!
So now we move down to DLSS balanced. We're getting a little bit more now, slightly smoother, but still below 40 FPS there. Nice lock 30, I guess.
Don't look, Sarah.
Graphics are great at this setting too.
Keep looking at me, baby. We're gonna get out of this. I promise. Look at me, baby. Don't look, Sarah.
Now we have DLSS performance. We're getting an average of 46 here, so it will feel a bit smoother, so for me it's probably the better experience. You're getting really high in the CPU usage here though, so you may experience a few more stutters.
Get back! There's too many of them! This way! Through the alley! Go!
Now we're going to move down to 4K medium. And this is where the textures start to look a bit dodgy.
Keep your eyes closed,
You
honey.
can, I mean, from a distance they don't look too bad, but up close there's some pretty sketchy ones going on there. But you are getting a reasonable frame rate, although the CPU usage is creeping up here,
Don't look.
but it didn't seem to stutter much.
Just keep looking at me, baby. Over there.
So now we have 4K medium with DLSS balanced, and we're getting some nice averages there, but as we can see in the 0.1% lows we're getting some rough stutters now. 14 is a bit rough for the 0.1 there, and you will see some stutters in game.
We're gonna get out of this. I promise.
CPU usage is super high now, hitting 94 there. So we'll try it in DLSS performance, see what we get. And much better in the averages, but the 0.1% lows aren't particularly great really. But for some reason we don't seem to be getting as rough of stutter in here, don't know why.
Keep running.
Could have just got lucky on these particular runs.
Don't look, Sarah.
Why are they doing that?
Just keep looking at me, baby.
So now we move down to 4K low, and really I just put this in as a bit of a joke really, because the textures here are just diabolical, like honestly. Terrible. It's like a PS2 game, wasn't it?
We're gonna get out of this. I promise.
So, no matter how good the frames are, you're not going to want to play this really.
Get back! There's too many of them! This way! Keep your eyes closed, honey.
Right, so now we move down to 1440p, high settings. We're doing pretty good in the averages, but the 0.1% lows there are not looking good
Keep looking at me, baby.
at all.
Don't look, Sarah.
And the CPU usage is already up there.
We're gonna get out of this. I promise.
Oh no.
Just keep your eyes closed, honey.
Now we have 1440 high with DLSS quality, and the averages are much better, but the 1 and 0.1% lows especially is just ridiculously bad. Like, it was just, the stutters were everywhere and they were harsh. Seems to be a bit of a trend with this game. When I've tested out other cards as well, there was a big stutter there. When you add more CPU utilisation, you just get these stutters all the time. So anyway, 1440p medium now. Once again we see the 0.1% lows, 7 there, just ridiculous really. You can definitely feel those stutters when you're playing. It's a shame as well because the averages are okay. But once again the textures are pretty terrible at medium.
Those people are on fire.
Keep looking at me, baby.
We might as well include a low setting as well while we're here, just to show you the same behaviour really. And look at that, like 10 as a 0.1% low, not good at all. Nearly hitting a 60 average here. So like if you were getting better 0.1% lows, the CPU utilisation wasn't so high, you could really probably get 60 there. You could turn textures up
We're gonna get out of this.
and to high with this card and it would be fine, you know. But instead you're left with N64 textures and harsh stutters. Good times. Anyway, we're going to go to 1080p now.
Don't look, Sarah.
This isn't bad, 1080p Ultra here, it's pretty good. Like, I wasn't getting many stutters here. Literally stutters as I say that. But you are getting the high CPU utilisation here, so I'm thinking that there's a chance you still are going to get quite a lot of stutters. Maybe I just got lucky on these runs. Maybe not.
There's too many of them. This way, through the alley.
So yeah, now we have 1080p Ultra plus DLSS quality. And it's okay, apart from once again, the 0.1% lows are just not really worth dealing with really. They're going to be noticeable. Even the 1% aren't particularly great. We won't go any lower at 1080p because you're already CPU limited to the max there, 96 and stuff, so there's no point. There's only 5 frames extra going from ultra to low, and you'll be punished for it image wise and stutter wise. It's a weird situation with this card in this game. You have enough VRAM for higher textures unlike a lot of higher end GPUs such as the 3070, but you don't have enough power for higher graphics settings, not at 60 FPS anyway. But you do have the power for that at low settings or with DLSS, and you could get away with it if you did say medium settings or high textures, but the game is so badly optimised and punishing on the CPU, you're stuck scraping 60 no matter how low the settings, as the game's CPU usage is a joke. And the lower you go, the more stutters you get, which seems to be due to the high CPU usage as far as I can tell. As at 4K and the higher presets, when your CPU usage is okayish, it happens miles less. So you end up needing a more powerful CPU than a lot of people will be running with the 3060. But it's just this game. And anyway, if you are happy with 30 FPS locked, or a little more even, you can get away with it with minimum stuttering and great looking graphics even at 4K. So thanks for watching my video. If you liked the video, give it a like and subscribe for more. Thanks, bye.